Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone, and thank you for joining me. Today's video will be a pick a card reading for the second half of January 2021. A big hello and welcome to all my new subscribers, and if you're just dropping by, I hope you will subscribe. Be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now I'd like you to focus on the 4 piles in front of me. Pile 1 is the orange selenite. Pile 2 is the blue angelite. Pile 3 is the white selenite. And pile 4 is the honey calcite. So if you can just take a moment, see which pile really speaks to you, and then check the timestamps down below to see the readings for those piles. This is for pile 1. So the first card up in this reading is the 4 of Swords reversed. So this is telling me that at the beginning of this period, the second half of January, so let's say from about the 15th of January on, 15th or 16th of January on, you will be in retreat of some kind. Unfortunately, the retreat will not be a refreshing retreat. It will be one where you really feel like you have to retreat. And that's unfortunate. However, you can use this time the same way as any kind of retreat. Recharge your batteries, rest, relaxation, build yourself up, maybe do some meditation or some prayer, and see if you can come up with some answers for whatever situation you're facing in mid-January. The challenge to this is the 5 of Wands in reverse. Usually the 5 of Wands is speaking about some sort of competition or threat to your own project or being or yourself. And when it's in reverse, it's you sabotaging yourself. So you are not helping yourself in your situation. And so let's see if we can clear up how you can help yourself in this situation. The Hanged Man is crossing you or showing us what's really the basis of the matter. You are having difficulty seeing the situation for what it is, and you're having trouble seeing the point of view of people around you. So maybe when you are meditating, or now that you have this future knowledge, you can really focus in your meditation and prayer on trying to see the other person's point of view, walk a mile in their shoes, as it were. In the recent past, you have been victorious. You have fought, you have won, and you still feel like there's more battles to come, but still you feel like the victor. So in this scenario, just from these few cards that we've pulled, you have a mindset where you have to triumph over someone else. But what if there doesn't have to be a victor and the vanquished? What if it's just everybody working things out? Maybe your point of view and what you're having trouble seeing is that you're looking at things in black and white, and there may be another solution. There may be things that are in between that you need to recognize. What's coming up for you is a person, maybe this is yourself, who is action-oriented but doesn't know quite when or how to act. So their impulse is to go out and act and advocate for themselves, but they're not quite sure what they're supposed to be advocating for. And again, this goes back to not understanding the other person's point of view. You're not quite sure what it is that you're fighting. You're confused. You're feeling that if you knew what it was that they were thinking, then you would know how to approach that. You would know how to challenge that. But if the situation really isn't one where you should be challenging, it isn't an either-or situation, then there's nothing to challenge. So that becomes just a conversation. And that's maybe something that you're not particularly comfortable with. The card for the future of what's really happening here is the Queen of Cups reversed. And this can be a queen who is petty. Somebody who is very emotional and used to getting their way and brooks no argument. So this is another person like yourself who's not understanding the other person's point of view. Now in her situation, she doesn't care. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to take the time or the energy to do that. But if you do, if you really do want to resolve whatever situation or conflict you find yourself in, then you do have to understand the other person's point of view. And so perhaps this Queen of Cups in reverse is being held up as a mirror to you so that you can see where she's failing. And hopefully you can learn a lesson from that and you can succeed in this scenario. In fact, looking in the mirror and seeing the Queen of Cups ill-advised point of view is something that really terrifies you. You really don't want to face those things within yourself. You really just would prefer to ignore it, but that is actually what you really have to do. You have to put on their shoes and walk a mile. You have to try to see it from their point of view, or you're just going to be spinning your wheels and going round and round over these 2 weeks and not really getting anywhere. What other people think about where you're going is they're confused too. They thought that they knew you. They thought that they understood what your priorities were. And they thought that you were pretty much materialistic. And now you're confusing them because you're acting in a different way. You're not concerned with the materialism or making extra money. You're more concerned with the ideas. The swords in here, swords here, are telling us that you're really concerned much more with the intellectual aspect of this dilemma, with actually having a debate about it and either winning or coming to some other consensus that would allow everybody to feel like they won in this scenario. Your hopes about the situation are that you'll be released from the bondage of what you feel right now. Right now, you feel trapped by your lack of understanding. You feel trapped by the inability to understand the situation. And that is a trap, and you will get out of it. This trap, this boundary, this oppression, this confinement that you're feeling is the confinement of old ideas and paradigms, things that you're ready to let go of, things that no longer serve you. And so if you can break free from these, if you can understand through the use of the Hanged Man, and you're starting out the right way. If this card were not reversed, if this card were upright, this would be the perfect card to go into seclusion, to try to find the answer. And you still can, given this foreknowledge of what's coming up, you can use this time not just to rest physically, but to also search for answers spiritually. And that might really, really help you. And then you maybe could figure out their point of view, and maybe you could figure out which way to go. And that definitely would release your bondage. Because the devil, even if it's coming in reversed, which it is in your reading, the devil represents oppression and bondage and almost slavery to someone who is all too eager to be manipulative and domineering. And this just represents the feeling that you have that you're out of step, or you may not even recognize yet that you are out of step, but your beliefs, your paradigm in this situation is no longer serving you, and you need to replace it with a more modern point of view. And the outcome is the reverse star. So when the star is upright, she's here. When she's reversed, she's like so. And this means that you will get there, just not right now, not in January. So it's going to take you a little while to get there, but if you can figure out how to break that old paradigm and release it to the universe and find your new way of thinking, which may be to just take a leap of faith and just say, you know what, I'm not really sure how they're thinking or what this person's real deal is, but I want to learn. I want to understand. It may be a process. It may not be something that you come to in a day. You may have to sit down and have several conversations with somebody before you begin to get on the right track. And that's fine. That's what this stuff is all about in the age of Aquarius, is understanding and communication and opening up and losing old paradigms and embracing new ways of thinking and doing things. Now, while I was shuffling the cards, these 3 cards fell out, so let's see what they have to say. The World, the 3 of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. So the World tells me that this is the end of an era for you. This is the end of something for you. And that's what we've been talking about, that you do need to drop this old paradigm, this old way of thinking or behaving in order to get ahead and to get moving in the right direction. The 3 of Pentacles reversed indicates that you've been working at something, but you've been going about it the wrong way. So again, with getting a new paradigm, getting a new view of things, getting a new look at things, you should be able to put your work in and have it actually pay off, have it actually be going in the right direction and helping you to achieve your goals. And the final card is also reversed. It's the King of Cups. This is a person who is very generous and caring to those around them, and especially for those that they are responsible for. So as you become more aware of this more enlightened way of looking at things, I believe that you become the King of Cups. You become the master of this compassion and this very generous way of looking at humanity. So, it's all good stuff coming to you in the cards. I mean, you also, you already had the Star just reversed and the King of Cups just reversed. And so once you get on board with how things should go from here on, then I think things will go very, very well for you. But the second half of January is sure to be a challenge for you. Please keep in mind what this reading said, and I wish you the best of luck. Okay, this is the reading for the people who picked pile number 2 that was covered with the blue angelite. So I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot for this reading. Covering you is the King of Swords. The King of Swords reversed. So this is a person who is hard, harsh, difficult, ungenerous, not able to allow for other people's ideas. It's his way or nothing. And it is challenged by the Queen of Swords, who is also very dictatorial, swift to take action, but cuts with her words. Both of them use language to really hold people in control and to dominate them. So in this second half of January, I believe that you find yourself either in a war of words with someone or just at the, short end of the stick with somebody who is maybe pretty abusive with their language. The basis of what's going on, the real meat of the matter, is that you had a heartbreak. It's been a long time since you had that heartbreak, but for some reason, when this person or persons, when they speak to you and they start speaking in a derogatory or abusive way, it really cuts back to that feeling of abuse or that feeling of loss and grief, and it really hurts you. You'd like to strike out, you'd like to somehow get back at them or tell them what for, whatever, but your hands are tied. You cannot do that. You would love to just rise up and tell them the same thing, but that's not possible. Either this is a job situation where you'd lose your job if you did that, or this could be in a relationship where you just don't know where your temper would lead you if you really let yourself go. Or this could be a family situation where there's a lot of history there and you just don't want to start up more drama by fighting back. You would rather go away from it. And the next card is the only card in the top row that's not reversed, and this is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is the card of retreat, of recharging one's battery, of taking a step back, maybe going into contemplation, prayer, meditation, in order to find answers and in order to school yourself, school your temper, and allow yourself to release any anger or resentment that you're feeling and come back to a more centered, peaceful, emotional state. The next card has to do with, let's see. The next card is the Emperor. And I think the Emperor reversed is saying that right now, if you were to move to a different situation, you would just pick a similar scenario. You would pick a similar type of person to be close to. So it's not the time to walk away from this situation because you haven't learned yet why you put yourself in this situation. You obviously have something that you need to work out karmically or that you need to learn in order to progress spiritually in this lifetime. And the Emperor reversed here is saying that, you know, I'm going to hold the reins no matter what, no matter where you go. I'm going to keep holding the reins until you fill in the blank. So you need to use that Four of Swords contemplation period to find out how you can not rise up in anger, but how you can learn from this situation and resolve it in such a way that you don't repeat it. So really, really big karmic thing going on here for you. Okay. So you would love to break out on your own, but again, this is not the time to be doing that. So although you have fantasies of striking out on your own and just leaving this situation behind and doing your own thing, or maybe just, you know, journeying, traveling or something for a while, that's not reality. That's not going to happen. Other people think that you pass up opportunities given to you. They feel that, you know, you've missed many opportunities to get out of this situation. But the thing is this is karmic. And until you learn why you came into that situation, what kind of karmic ties you have to these people, and resolve it in some way, you're just going to keep repeating it in some other cosmos, in some other circle. So people around you don't quite understand what's going on with this. But you are a little afraid to really meet the truth. Now, the Hanged Man is just opposite the Four of Swords. So in your contemplation, this is where you will figure it out. This is where you will finally begin to uncork, reveal, unleash the real lesson, the real reason that you're in this situation. And that's what you want to do. So in this second half of January, I feel that this situation is really coming to a head, and possibly towards the end, further towards the end of the month, possibly you will have the chance to go into retreat in some way. Or maybe it's going home every night and meditating, I don't know, or praying, or just doing some sort of contemplative work. But you will find the answer within, because you will be able to see the other person's point of view. You will be able to resolve it in some way, and then you'll be turning this upright because you will understand their point of view. The final outcome card is the King of Cups, and I think this is you. This is mastering one's emotions, mastering the difficulty of a situation and resolving it with love and compassion. So you are headed towards a very difficult chore and a very difficult lesson, but I do believe that you will be able to resolve it in a mature fashion. And once you are able to resolve it in a mature fashion, you will be able to move on from this situation and have a much more pleasant experience. So that's what I'm seeing for your reading. Those of you who picked pile number 2 with the blue angelite, such a beautiful stone. And thank you very much. Okay, and now for the people who picked the 4th pile, the pile with the honey calcite heart on it. We're doing the Cosmic Tarot for this group. I'm just going to shuffle up a little bit. So the 8 of Pentacles is the first card that comes up for you. So this shows me that you're at an imagination stage in your business or career. You're imagining how you can improve things, what you can do to make things better. And you're also appreciating where you've come from, what you've had to struggle with in order to get to this point. Some of the things that have been challenging you are the way that other people are doing business just seems very different to you from what your ideas are. And so you are studying what other people are doing. You're looking at their different points of view as it concerns business, and you're learning a lot. So your imagination is also encompassing learning from other people so that you can improve things by incorporating some new ideas into your business. At the base of the matter, there is a feeling of disappointment or loss, or the feeling that you could have done better in your business, probably over the last 6 months or so, not just in the last month. Although this reading is for the second half of January, now is the time where you're really acknowledging to yourself that you're not quite satisfied with what you've done previously. You've hoped in the past that your partner would step up and really help with a lot of new ideas, and they did, but perhaps they're leaving the partnership, or perhaps, I think they're leaving the partnership. I think that's part of why you're feeling a little disappointed, and you're also trying to reimagine the business in general or the project in general. The partner that you depended on for so many ideas has completed his journey with you, and he's going to be moving on. This is told to me by the Six of Wands and the World in this reading as we go forward. Now, the Six of Wands usually means, regularity and things being very regular and having a routine. And the Wands are your identity. I think most of that routine will continue, but this person who is leaving the partnership was the idea person. And now you're going to have to be all of it, because you're not going to have a partner unless you get a new partner. But you're going to have to also be the idea person. And so while you'll try to continue with the same routine, you realize that things will change a great deal. And there will be absolutely an ending to a chapter for this business when this person leaves. So your hopes around this situation are that somebody new will show up that pretty much has all the answers. And it's a hope. I mean, you don't really think that honestly somebody is just going to magically appear out of nowhere and become the new partner, but you can hope. And other people see you as being reckless, being foolish. Perhaps you didn't look for another partner. Perhaps you've just been waiting for that person to appear out of thin air. And I think that is the case, that you felt like you could just wait and somebody new would show up, or you could just wish that into existence without doing very much. Or perhaps you were in denial that the person was going to leave it all. And perhaps this is kind of a shock to you that this person is actually leaving. Well, they are. And now you have to get down to brass tacks. In order to keep the business going, to keep the project going, you have to step up and be everything, because this person is not going to be there anymore. So towards the latter part of this 2-week period in January, you will decide that you need to become the magician. I think you can do it, but I think you need to prepare yourself. I think you need to spend some time really focusing in on what is it that I'm losing with this person leaving the business, and what do I need to fill in? Maybe you need to hire a bookkeeper part-time. Maybe you need to engage a web designer just to beef up the website. Maybe you need to add somebody in marketing or advertising instead of a partner. You don't necessarily need to add a new partner. In fact, if you try to do that, that person most likely will take advantage of you. So rather than splitting up your business again with somebody else, take complete control and then just add in the pieces that you really need. I think you'll be much happier with that. And it takes the pressure off of you from having to be all things, when really you came to the table with your strengths, your partner came to the table with their strengths, and now you're going to fill in some of those gaps with people who are not partners in the business, but maybe people who work for you or people who you contract to do specific jobs. So you do have to get down to brass tacks and really figure out what it is that you need, and then you need to go find those people to help you. Otherwise, you're going to open yourself up to people who can take advantage of you. So I'd like to put some extra cards on this because I feel like we need some clarification. I just feel like I need clarification on the last one. Oh, the sun. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, you're going to succeed in keeping the business going if you don't take on a new partner. So don't feel like, oh, my partner's leaving, I need a new partner. No, you don't need a new partner. You are the business. You can do the business by yourself. And I have a feeling too that your partner was a bit older than you. So you may feel like you need that older person to come and advise you. But really, you've learned a lot from your partner. And so you can run it by yourself. Just fill it in with some people who can do specific contract jobs for you, and you will succeed. The sun is a victory card. It's a yes card. It's a I can do it card. So don't feel like you have to cave and throw in the towel. Not at all. You just have to reevaluate what it is that you need and move forward. And that's the reading for the people who chose pile number 4, the honey calcite. Okay, this is for pile number 3, the people who picked the white selenite. We are using the borderless Smith weight Centennial deck. Okay, for those of you who picked the white selenite, the second half of January is a time where you're really digging into finances, perhaps finding new streams of income or new sources to make money, to sell things, to use your skills, to sell services and products. So that's very exciting. And the thing that challenges you is a woman who possibly you're stepping on her toes, product line wise or services wise. Maybe she feels that, she's already doing what you're doing. And, in this time where small businesses are having a hard time, maybe she feels that you should back off and just leave her to her territory. However, I think you should go forward. There's plenty for everybody actually out in the world. So there's plenty of business for everybody as well. And then we have the sun. Now, the sun is the real basis of the matter. And the reason that this Ace of Pentacles is so successful right now is because the sun is shining down on you. The sun is making you feel confident and alive and happy and joyful and powerful. So that's why these things are really happening for you. And the Queen of Pentacles just needs to get a little bit of her own sun so she doesn't worry about some competition. Now, the next card is showing that in the past you've struggled trying to figure out what is the secret to make me successful? What do I need to know in order to be successful? And how can I manage that? How can I corral that energy and use it for myself? But the truth is that all of these secrets are within you. The High Priestess always tells us that if we look within, we will find everything that we need. And the fallacy is that there is some magic secret handshake that you need to learn in order to be successful. You don't. You just need to believe in yourself. You need to have something that you believe in order to sell or barter. And that's really all it takes. The next card is the Hanged Man, and this shows that in the very near future, you're going to be taking on a completely different perspective having to do with maybe your life, maybe not just this little business enterprise, but maybe your life. So very interesting that you've got 3 major arcana here in a row telling me that there's something big coming up for you in the near future. And then the other thing that's going to be happening in the future is that you will be given information that is a secret. And it's not going to be right away, but somebody will let you know that they have information that you need. And that's going to be kind of a tease. You're going to be wondering, why are you telling me this if you're not going to tell me the information? But I guess that's, the drama that people love to play, and that's what's going to be coming up for you. More major arcana. Oh my goodness. Another ace. Wow. Okay. So January, the second half of January is really happening for you. So the next card up is your fears about the situation, and it has to do with contracts and agreements and cooperation. So going back to this Queen of Pentacles, who may feel like you're competing with her, your fear is that she's going to want to either take over your business or she's going to want to partner with you so that you can't make as much money or as many clients or whatever. But that's just a fear. That doesn't necessarily have to come to pass. What other people see is that you are doing something that's pretty special. I don't know if this project has to do with artistic stuff or health care, or love, matchmaking, that kind of thing, or products or services that people would use when they are going on dates, like a restaurant where people eat out, or a hairdresser where people get, beautiful before they go on their dates, something like that. But people are seeing that what you're doing is possibly very unique and really, really sought after. So no wonder the Queen of Pentacles is a little worried about it. The next card is your fears about your fears about the situation. And this just shows that you're a little worried about competition. You're a little worried about what happens with the next challenge that comes along to your business, and how are you really going to handle it? And I think you're going to handle it just fine. I think that you're just having fears about competition and handling it. This woman, this Queen of Pentacles, really put the fear of God into you. But believe me, she wouldn't be putting up a fuss if she didn't think that what you were doing was going to be successful. If she thought that you were just going to be here today, gone tomorrow, she wouldn't really raise a ruckus. But because she is raising a ruckus, you can be sure that what you're doing is something that she thinks people are going to buy. And that's what the Ace of Cups is saying too. So, try to relax yourself. Try to see it from a different perspective. Try to see it as, there's plenty for everyone. We're all here doing the same thing. We're all rowing in the same direction. Why do we have to be enemies? Why can't we be friends and support one another? There is plenty for everyone, by the way. And then the final outcome is a little ambivalent. It's the Seven of Cups in reverse, and it's showing that there are things that have been offered to you that you think are too good to be true. And I think because it's reversed, I think that it's just showing that, yes, there may be things in the offing that aren't right for you to take. For instance, some of these things may be offered to you by the Queen of Pentacles, in an effort to sabotage you. So be very careful with that. And then if that does come about, that she is offering you things that you're worried about, let's find out then what the Page of Swords has to say, because maybe he's the one who has the information about the Queen of Pentacles. So make sure that you talk to people. Don't take anything out of hand. Don't make any snap decisions about your business, and you should be okay. And the card that fell out of the deck that I'm going to go ahead and read for you is the Temperance card. And this is just saying that you should take things slow. You should take things easy. Try to be moderate. Try to allow things to develop naturally. Don't force things. Now, Temperance is all about blending different resources and making things happen. Not quite magical, but more alchemical. So if you can turn this Queen of Pentacles from a frenemy to a friend, you will have done your job spiritually. This woman needs a friend. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so worried about competing business. She would have a family waiting for her at home that made her feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And that's what you can do by being her friend and showing her that business doesn't have to be cutthroat competition, that small businesses can support one another, and everybody can thrive in that way. So I think that's part of the lesson. It may be a different kind of business endeavor that you're starting. It might not be just like a brick and mortar store or an online store, but whatever it is, you can show your competition that you are up to the task and that you're not afraid of the competition. And in fact, you would encourage it because you think it makes your business better. So that's the reading for everybody who picked the white selenite. All right, that's it for the second half of January and your pick a card readings. I hope you found that helpful. Please leave me a comment below and let me know how the reading hit you. If you'd like a personal reading, my contact info is showing below. Just visit my website or shoot me an email. As always, I'm so happy that you joined me today and that we have so many new subscribers. Thank you so much for all your thumbs up, your comments, and subscribing. It means so much to me. And now I guess that's it. So take care and I'll see you next time.